Hi everyone, my name's Britain Cline, Ad Sales Manager, and welcome to this week's edition of Level Up from Behind the Counter by Scuba Diving Industry Magazine.
And I'm William Cline, publisher. Thank you for watching this new series. This has been a great show. I think we're up to 7 or 8 now.
Getting up
And
there.
if you are a dive retailer out there and you have something you'd like to contribute to other retailers, reach out to Britton or I. We'd love to have you on the show.
That's right.
So who do we have today, Britton?
Yes, so today we have Patrick Hammer, former owner and current course director with Dive Right In Scuba in Orlando Park, Illinois. Pat, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. It actually is Orland Park, Illinois.
Orland Park. So sorry about that.
We don't want to add a second Orlando.
That's right. That's right. One's enough.
So, Pat, thanks.
I don't want another one.
Thanks for taking the time to chat with us today. And I'm sure you got some great insights for other retailers out there. So let's dig right in, right, Britton?
Yeah, let's just jump right into it. So could you tell me a little bit about your history, former shop, your current business of teaching instructors, and just a little bit about the nonprofits that you also manage?
Oh, yeah, great. Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, I got
Just a
involved
little
in
bit
scuba
loaded,
back in-
sorry.
Yeah, I got involved in scuba back in high school, and then met some people that got me involved in training. I became a course director, but actually back in 1975.
Wow.
So I've been doing a lot of instructor training, a lot of vocational training. And that was a year after I opened my store in 74. Through my life, I've had a few different stores. I've had stores in Atlanta, Georgia. I've had it in Michigan. I've had them in Florida. You know what I mean? So I've been all over and been busy. But about 5, 6 years ago, I said, enough's enough with retail. It's time to slow down, enjoy life. They always say, smell the roses, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
So I'm slowing down a little bit and just all I'm doing now is teaching and really, really loving it. I wish I would have done that years ago.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
That's great. Pat's written several articles, 5 articles for us in the magazines. One of our great writers. So we're looking for more from you, Pat, by the way. But
Absolutely.
I'm looking.
Oh, good. So you do some amazing things, and I'd like to talk a little bit about your nonprofit work. Years ago, I was in working with Stuart Cove in the Bahamas, and you came down as part of the Ralph Erickson Foundation and conducted an IDC at zero cost, essentially for the candidates through a special program with PADI and Stuart Cove and the Ralph Erickson Foundation. And it's a very personal experience because people don't realize that when you're in a third world country, which is most of the entire Caribbean are third world countries, the opportunities for a lot of the young kids is very, very far and few between. Very few of them have excellent educational systems and they don't have the money. So to give a person working in a tropical dive location an instructor certificate is like giving them a PhD, believe it or not, because now you've opened up the entire world for them to make a living.
That's right.
To get off the streets, if that's the case, whatever it might be. And we saw firsthand how totally impactful that program can be. Talk to us about other places where you've conducted these programs for underprivileged kids and adults.
I'm very fortunate. I actually am president of 2 foundations. And the one you're talking about is Ralph Erickson Educational Foundation. Karen Erickson, his wife, and I were very good friends. I was friends with Ralph. And when he passed, we decided to set up a foundation to try to keep other people's dreams going. Ralph was always a big component of that. He would be doing instructor training. Sometimes somebody would go, Ralph, I don't have all the money. He goes, that's okay. So he'd help people out a lot. So our foundation did the Bahamas, as you saw. We did that a few years. But fortunately, we did one in St. Lucia last year. And we helped a new course director out, get a program going down there. And we funded the whole thing.
Wow.
So we raised money and then we helped the guys out. And like you said, it's like a career they get. And it's phenomenal. I've got guys that I taught back in the 80s that are still teaching in Jamaica.
Wow.
I don't think there's a better hand up you can give to a local native of any of these islands is the opportunity to have a career. Because, they could become the Stuart Coves or the next Scuba St. Lucia or the next, Pro Dive Mexico, because that's the opportunity.
Absolutely.
It's great.
It's super fascinating. Could you tell us a bit about maybe why you enjoy training instructors and how, after all these years, you still get excited to do just that, to teach?
That's a good question.
Thanks.
Think about this. It's a job, right?
Right.
There's no place in the world you can have a job where you play with fish, clown around with people, have a great time. You're like in the entertainment business. But what's really neat is you look at a new diver. When they come up, they go, oh my God, that's the coolest thing in the world. When you look at a dive instructor, he comes up and goes, wow, is that cool? I'm an instructor now. So same concept. They enjoy it too. So it's fun turning these people onto new careers and getting them in diving. One of the guys I taught last year in the VA program we have, opened up a foundation down in Ohio, and he's teaching people with disabilities. So that's kind of cool.
Definitely.
So you've been a course director for 50 years. Is there any
Right.
others out there that have been a course director that long in our industry?
I would say there aren't. You know, I
So
think the closest person I had was Alex Bilski.
yeah, and
Right.
he took the easy train out.
Right,
He's
right.
one of our great writers. He's also retired
I know.
from
That's what I
teaching.
said. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the closest ones.
Yeah, well, I got my CD certificate in '86, so I got 10 years yet to get close to you. But how many instructors have you certified total? Do you keep a count?
I don't keep account. It's been thousands.
You know, and
I've been a PADI Platinum Course Director for 19 years now.
that's amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations on that. And you know, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about that. Can we jump
Yeah.
back in history a little bit? We've had several dive operators on, dive shop owners and former owners on our show
That's right.
that have talked about their experience either buying a shop or selling a shop. And it's something that everybody looks for as a dive retailer. Someday you want to have that exit plan. Can you talk to other retailers about how that process worked for you, how you came about finding the buyer, and especially, and I've asked this question for 2 or 3 different people like Steve Weaver and Jeff Saran-Sampino, you know, if you can think back to what you did really, really well at the dive shop, talk about what you're most proud of as a former retailer as
Yeah.
well. So 2-part question.
Right. Yeah. I guess the thing to start with is, you know, when I was looking to sell, I wanted to slow down, but I didn't want to give up.
For
I
sure.
just knew it was time to get out of the retail part of it. And so I had to find somebody that would keep my dream going. I had, you know, the Scuba Emporium company, we had that going since 74. I
Right.
just didn't want to throw it away. And I actually had a buyer that came in with a little bit more money that was going to throw the store away and do something else with the pool and everything else. And then I found somebody else, Diving and Scuba, that was going to keep it going, let us work there and keep our dream going. And he's done that. So it was easy to find somebody. I had to find somebody who one could financially support and, you know, by the store. You saw the pictures and stuff. But I also had to find somebody that had a passion for diving.
Right,
And Mike does have that passion.
No,
And so that helps. It's hard. I think the biggest thing you have to take it out of it is your emotions. That's why stores don't sell. People get their emotions involved, and it's worth $2 million when it's only worth $100,000.
right.
I've got, you know, $50,000 extra in inventory in the back when you only have 5,000. So
Right.
you pull your emotion out. I think the best thing we did was we got our lawyer involved in it, and we let her make all the calls, and that helped out a lot.
And that's pretty much what Steve Weaver said. He got an attorney that was experienced in this process and had a good accountant, and those are some really good tools. You know, thinking back to when you had Scuba Emporium, that's where you and I met, and we met during the Scuba Tour, which then became the Be a Diver Tour for DEMA years later,
Right.
and which Dave Radenbach ran for 25 plus years. And you know, the shops that we met on that tour were always some of the most innovative shops because it took a vision to realize, well, why in the world would you want to, you know, come out to a state fair or something and do free, give up your entire weekend, you know? And of course, it was brilliant. You guys did really well, and it was great. Talk about some of the innovative things you did when you had Scuba Emporium back in those days.
One of the things we did is we offered events for the customer that didn't cost them anything. We felt that was very important, whether it be Burnham Harbor cleanup dive, and we would help that. My foundation, Tim Early Foundation, would buy coffee, donuts, hot dogs, things like that for the people. So they actually got something for it. But we actually were helping the environment, helping out, and it was a free event for them. We offered, you know, different events like Try Scuba. We would do that once in a while just for free, let people try it.
Right.
So it was like give something back. It can't always be about money. And thinking about that, I was talking to a guy last weekend at the lake, and I won't say names, but you know, he's really frustrated. He's having trouble and he's struggling. And I talked to him a little bit about it. And within probably 2 minutes, I could see the problems. I addressed one of them. He goes, "Oh no, I have to do it that way." I said, "Okay."
Well, that's why that's why you're having problems.
Right. All right.
Right.
So I just backed off. I said, "Okay, you're not going to listen, you know."
Right.
But you know, you have to take your pride out of it, and you know, take everything out of it. Let the lawyer do it. And if you get a check that's, you know, 50,000 less than you wanted, tough. You got to check.
Yeah, and that's a good point. We had a question for you, which you've kind of really already addressed, which is some of the things that you other other potential sellers should look out for in the industry. I'd like to jump completely to a different track for a second. Your wife, Sherry, has been very, very involved with teaching children. In fact, she wrote an article for us on the SEAL program and how that she's turned it into quite the unique business. And I would have loved if she would have joined us, but she says she has stage fright. But maybe you could talk to us a little about her programs and kind of the success she had, because we ran an article about it, and I was astounded at the rates that you're able to get for these programs.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping she'll write another article because she's doing a beta test on a new program.
Oh, cool.
So
Wow.
I'm hoping that she'll add it. She's got 6 kids in the program right now, and
awesome.
the program's going very strong. And those kids they started at age 8. They go through the program. When they turn 10, they're ready to do open water. They move into that program. We've got 2 of them that moved into the instructors and became dive instructors. So it's a huge asset for the dive store. What we are finding too is the parents are diving. So they get their kids into it, the parents are diving. So it's like a family thing,
Definitely.
and that's really huge. And so it's been beneficial to the store and ours back then.
Yeah, we had Margot Payton on with her husband Tom from Family Divers and Kids Sea Camp, and their entire focus, of course, is getting the whole family diving.
Yeah.
So Sherry's really onto something, and if you haven't read the article, go look for it. At the end of every single issue online, you can see a list of every article that we published since we started, and you can just look up Sherry Hammer and find her article.
That's right.
So, Britain.
Yeah. Lastly, what piece of advice would you maybe tell other shop owners out there considering selling, especially things that you maybe didn't watch out for, or maybe things that you found that you didn't think of at that time?
Well, one of the things everybody kept telling me, don't tell your staff you're selling. Everybody kept pushing it. Don't tell the staff you're selling.
Right.
And I found it kind of dishonest to them. So I did tell the staff that I was looking to sell, and I did tell the staff what we're doing, and we're going to make sure we try to get them locked into jobs.
Definitely. Wow.
They're going to hear it anyway.
Right.
The industry's going to talk. So this way, I didn't blindside them, and every one of those guys were happy. Most of them are still teaching with us, and one guy who was there, I think Ryan's there like 25 years now.
Oh, wow.
So he held on to his job. Yeah. So I would say it's okay to tell the staff what you're thinking.
That's
great.
I
mean? They're going to hear about it. And you might find one of the staff people says, my dad's got some money, maybe I'll buy it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So I would definitely open up to that. And then, check your inventory out and make sure it's, accurate. We had some problems. We had some things that were in there twice, and it was about $14,000 difference in inventory. And we were wrong, and we just accepted the wrong. We were wrong. Some things are recorded 2 different ways. So make sure you check your inventory out before you go doing it, so you don't, at the last minute realize you're going to be short a little bit,
That makes great sense and great advice.
And then one other thing I did, and one thing we worked hard on, we ran the business 100% to the last day. So we didn't slack off. We didn't slow down. We ran it like we were keeping it forever.
You turned the keys over to a fully functioning business that was
absolutely
discontinued, which is
fantastic.
Brilliant for your buyer.
Yeah.
So, Pat, thanks for being on this show. I'm going to give a little commercial here. Pat is running for the DEMA Board of Directors for the 2026 term. So vote for Pat, vote for all of the board. They're all great candidates. And certainly, Pat, you have already served many times on the board. I've served with you on the board, and I hope that the industry will really come out in numbers and support you. So DEMA is just a little...
I'm a write-in, so I really need that.
Yeah, he does. So listen, he's going to be on the ballot. Look for him. You can vote at the show, which is in 60 days. And we're going to be doing a live from the DEMA show. So Pat, I'm going to give you an open invitation to come back and come on our show. We're going to be doing a daily kind of wrap up from this show that's going to be posted every single night to all our social media. And we'd love to have you back on at the DEMA show. Maybe you can even drag your gorgeous wife with you.
I'll do my best.
Okay, that sounds great. So, Brenton, who's planned for our next Marketing Minutes?
That's right. So our next Marketing Minutes guest will be Fred Hiley, underwater photographer for Big Blue Dive Resort in Koh Tao, Thailand, where our friend Gavin actually used to live. So stay tuned for that. It should be a fantastic conversation.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Any parting words, Pat, before we wrap this?
No, but if anybody's looking to sell their business and they want to talk to me, I can meet them at DEMA, and I'd gladly help them.
Great. And by the way, you can always find Pat's information in the last slide we put up. So reach out to Pat, and we would love to, if you can't find him, reach out to us, and we'll
put you into contact with him.
Exactly. So that's going to do it for our episode of Level Up from Behind the Counter for today. Thanks again, Pat.
All right. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks.
You too, Pat.